So I was thinking recently that I don't want to start every video off just by saying, hi everyone, welcome back, because it just sounds so cheesy and I don't really know how to start off these videos. But hello, welcome back. Did I just wave to the camera? Is that worse than just saying, hi everyone, welcome back? Quite possibly. That's really cringy, isn't it? I just wanted to sit and film this today. It's probably going to go up when we're on holiday, so it will be a little bit pre-recorded. Today is the 25th of May, and yesterday we had our consultation with a doctor at the hospital. It was an antenatal consultation I had been sent for because I have had a gastric sleeve surgery and I am now pregnant. So they basically just want to monitor me a little bit closely to make sure that the baby is growing how it's meant to be growing. And I've had a lot of questions off you guys asking about things to do with gastric sleeve surgery and the pregnancy, and some of you might just be generally interested anyway. So I thought, it is the end of the day and we're losing the light, and I've just reapplied a little bit of makeup and tried to spruce myself up a little bit so that I look a little bit more put together. But I just thought, while it's still fresh in my mind from yesterday, I'd get it done rather than leave it till we get back and I don't know what I'm talking about. I have made a list, so I'm going to go through this and talk to you all about different points that I've got to go through. I'll try not to look at it too much as reference and just sit and have a bit of a chin wag with you, really. So I don't think it'll be too long because I've got concise points and I know what I want to say, I think. So let's get straight into it. I just wanted to quickly mention I am wearing a new base product today. It's the IT Cosmetics CC cream, and so far I really like it. I'm also wearing the Makeup Revolution Conceal and Define Concealer, and I'm not sure if it's a little bit in your face, a little bit too highlighted under my eyes, but I just pop some more. And I do find that it's meant to be a dupe for the Tarte Shape Tape. This isn't a makeup video, I'm sorry. I'll cover this in a different video, but the Tarte Shape Tape I find lasts a lot longer on me under my eyes, whereas this one I have to reapply if I'm going out and stuff like that. It can go quite grey, I've found on me anyway. So let's get into this. I'm going to start at the very beginning, right before I had my surgery, because I want to try and explain everything as fully as possible, because if there's any of you out there that are considering having gastric sleeve surgery but you also want children in the future, I wish I'd seen a video of someone that I could relate to and have advice from, blah blah blah, when I was looking and researching into it, because there isn't that much on YouTube about this topic. I did find anyway when I was looking. When I went for my gastric sleeve consultation back in, I think it was October 2016, only question really that I had about it, Thomas had a few more, but I had researched it for months and months and months before that, probably for about 10 months before, and the only real question that I had for the surgeon was, how will it affect pregnancy? Will it hinder us getting pregnant? Is it something that we can still do? Can we get pregnant if I have this surgery? That was my only concern. I didn't want to have this surgery and then find out that it was going to cause complications down the road and that pregnancy wasn't going to be an option. And that was my main concern from the get-go, really. The surgeon was very honest and open about it, and he said basically they have such a high success rate with women getting pregnant after they've had the gastric sleeve surgery. Obviously there are different type of weight loss surgeries, but I can only talk about gastric sleeve because that's the one that I've had and it's the one that I know about. And he basically said that because you are going to lose so much weight and your health is going to improve so much, as your physical health as well as your mental health, that it can only be a good thing for pregnancy because you are so much healthier, your BMI is reduced. My BMI has gone from 41 to 23, I think. Obviously the idea is that you'll lose so much weight and your BMI will be reduced dramatically. My BMI is almost halved and it was over 40 and it's now in the 20s. He basically said that it would help our chances of getting pregnant because I would be healthier. The only thing that he did say was that they advised to wait a year after the surgery so that your nutrition levels and your absorption levels have leveled out and kind of stabilized, and that you're at the best place that you can be after surgery. I think in the first year you're in what's known as the rapid weight loss stage, where it literally goes like this and everything is kind of all over the place and your body is just getting used to its smaller stomach and everything, you know, it's a whole lifestyle change. So that is what he advised, so that is what we did. So when we decided to start trying, which was in December 2017, I emailed my nutritionist, who I got kind of in contact with through the surgery that I'd had. She was kind of part and parcel of the whole package, and I told her we were starting trying for a baby, and was there anything that she would recommend that we were doing differently that we could do to improve our chances of getting pregnant. She advised for us to start taking a conception vitamin. So it's basically a multivitamin which I have to take daily anyway. I've had to do that since surgery, and this one, it has folic acid in and different vitamins that are good for making a baby and growing a baby. So we switched them straight away. I didn't wait any time at all. I didn't waste any time at all to start taking them. And then when we fell pregnant, I just changed to the normal Pregnacare multivitamin, which has folic acid in as well. And then my nutritionist emailed my doctor, my GP surgery, because I let her know that we'd fallen pregnant, and she emailed my GP surgery to basically say, Amy is pregnant. She's had gastric sleeve, because I changed doctors, so they weren't, obviously if they'd looked at my records and stuff, but I'd never actually seen a doctor at this practice when we got pregnant. So she emailed the surgery and said, Amy is pregnant and she's had gastric sleeve. Here is everything I would advise. And it was basically an A4 sheet of paper. She sent me a copy as well. And on there were things like how much weight they expect me to gain, because it'll be a little bit less than if I'd not had gastric sleeve, and also to look out for things like my iron levels and my vitamin B12 levels, because they might be a bit lower, but I do have a vitamin B12 injection every 3 months. So I was taking a supplement. They weren't concerned about my levels. She said they were in the normal range, but at the lower end. So really, especially when growing a baby, she preferred them to be a bit higher. So I started having the injections, because vitamin B12 or vitamin B supplement, they taste and smell absolutely disgusting. So when we first got pregnant, I was still taking those. Then it got to a stage where I just couldn't stomach it, because they were just so disgusting. So I started having the injections instead. And yeah, she basically said about portion sizes. She was advising me to just carry on eating the same things, but that I might need more meals more frequently, which is what I found really. And that they might suggest to the doctor as well that I have more regular checks on my iron levels, and also more regular scans after 20 weeks, just to make sure that baby is growing how he should be growing. It was around 8 weeks, 8 or 9 weeks midwife appointment, the first one that you have. She actually labelled me as a high risk pregnant woman, which I think they do if you are if you've got something that's a little bit different about your pregnancy. So for example, if you were maybe in your 40s or 50s and you're pregnant, or perhaps if you're expecting twins, or if you have had some kind of problem in the past that might affect pregnancy, or if you were severely overweight, things like that, they like to monitor things a little bit closely, which is only a good thing, I suppose. But she said in no way did I fit the category for high risk, but because I've had this surgery, they want me to go under a consultant, and to be able to do that, she has to label me as high risk. So that's how that came about. So that is why we had this consultation on Thursday, so that we could just make sure that everything was as it should be, and that we were all kind of on the same page, and that I was doing everything that I can to make this baby as healthy as it possibly can be. I was then called into my GP surgery about 14 to 15 weeks just for a chat with my GP. She just wanted to get to grips with the surgery that I'd had, how much weight I'd lost, which I have lost just under 7 stone. So I have made videos in this in the past. There will be more coming up, but if any of you are new, I was just under 17 stone when I had the surgery, and then I lost to just under 10 stone by the time we'd gotten pregnant. I have put on about half a stone since being pregnant. So anyway, I went to the GP, and it was just a really nice chat really. She was just double checking that I was taking the right multivitamin, that I was taking folic acid, and that I was just eating what I should be eating and drinking as much as I can be drinking, because obviously they don't want me getting dehydrated. So that was just a little catch up and a little chat, but that was nice to know that my GP was also looking out for me, that I had all of these different kind of people, that I had all of these different kind of centres and different services that were all aware of my situation, and that they want the best for me and for baby. So the most recent update obviously is from this consultation that we had on Thursday, and to be honest, it could have gone a little bit better. I had my blood pressure taken, and also they checked my urine and everything was fine, how it should be. And then the healthcare assistant left and they sent in a doctor. So I didn't actually see the consultant that I'm under. She went and spoke to him and then came back to me after making notes and things, and then they kind of came up with a plan together, and then she came back and relayed it to me. But the lady that we saw at the hospital was quite condescending, and I've only had that once before over my surgery, and that was when I was in over my gallbladder a few months ago. And this lady she sat down and she started by asking me how much weight I'd lost, my age, how far along we were, when was the baby's due date, just normal questions, whether I smoked, whether I drank, blah, blah, blah. And then she asked me what surgery I'd had and did I know what it meant, what did they do when I had the surgery, which was a little bit strange to me. I kind of wanted to say no, actually I was kidnapped. I had no idea what they were doing to me, and here I am, you know, a year and a half later, and I still have no idea what surgery I had or why I had it. It was just a little bit, you know, presumptuous of her to think that I would go into something like that without researching it wholeheartedly. And also I just thought, what's the point in you asking me this question, because I can't go back and change it. I've had the surgery, so I felt like I was at school, like she was testing me, and she was asking me all of these questions, and she obviously knew the answers, because I said, oh yes, obviously I know what they did. It's, you know, when I had the surgery. And she said, and what was that? But she obviously knew, so it wasn't like she was asking because she wanted me to inform her. I don't know, it just, Thomas just looked at me and was a bit like, oh. And I could have cried, I really could have cried, because it just makes you feel so uncomfortable, because I already feel a little bit guilty about it all anyway. I feel guilty that I had the gastric sleeve privately, and now I'm having all this extra care on the NHS because of that and the pregnancy, and I've already got all of those feelings, and the fact that I lost all of this weight because of weight loss surgery. So I don't really need it from that angle, if that makes sense. I feel it myself as it is. And then, yeah, she was basically just saying that they're having a lot more young women going through the surgery and then getting pregnant, so they're getting more used to different procedures and how to look after us, which I suppose is only a good thing. I keep checking the viewfinder, by the way, just to make sure that the light isn't dropping too much, so that I can turn the light up that I've got in front of me. And yeah, that was basically it. Then she went and spoke to the consultant. She checked my tummy and said that I had a perfectly normal sized uterus for how far along we were. You can tell it's the end of the day, can't you? And also that we heard baby's heartbeat and he was wriggling around and the heartbeat was perfectly normal. So she went away and she came back and she'd spoken to me about how, because I've had this surgery, I could have all these problems with my nutrition levels and that I might not absorb iron like a normal person would absorb iron. And obviously I knew all of this, but I was just letting it get out of her system. And I know that she has to say it because some people might not know it. And also she's explaining where she's coming from, but she was very, very, very condescending and very, I don't know, judgmental. And I just feel like you offer this procedure on the NHS, it's out there, you know, I've had it, it can't change. I'm here for some guidance, please just be nice to me. But anyway, oh, I've just moved the camera. She came back in and basically said that they don't want to give me any more checks for iron. I think being pregnant, you get an iron blood test done at 28 and 36 weeks. So I'm just going to have the same that everybody else has. But she said, I'm very humbly offering you 3 extra scans. And we got in the car and I said to Tom, I said, oh, sorry. I thought I'd switched that on silent. I said to Thomas in the car, I said, what does she mean when she said that she was humbly offering them me? And he said she was basically saying you're bloody lucky. And I just thought, oh, I'm not asking for these, it's you that are offering them me. It just was really uncomfortable, and I just felt like I was really under scrutiny, and that, you know, never mind the fact that, like, she didn't ask what were your reasons for the surgery. You know, she didn't give me a chance to say, well, actually I was in a really, really dark place and I saw no light at the end of the tunnel, and this was literally the one thing that I could see that would save my life. And it's made such a dramatic difference to me mentally and physically, but none of that came into it. She was just really not very nice. Anyway, so she humbly offered me these 3 extra scans, so that means that we are getting a growth scan at 24, 28 and 32 weeks. I think around about that, or it might be starting at 28 weeks. Would that work out right? Maybe 28, 32, 36. I'm not sure, but somewhere around there. I'm having 3 extra scans, and just to check that baby is growing how he should be and that he's the right size basically. We have been for our 20-week scan today and he is completely on track. They measure every single thing. They saw no complications. They said that everything was perfect and as it should be. So far so good. And that's everything really. I think that's all I've got to say on the matter. I hope this has kind of answered some questions for you all. I do want to film a Q&A on everything, so if I've missed anything out, anything that you want to know, let me know. Coming back to just ran out, didn't it? Right near the end. Yeah, so let me know if you've got any questions, if I've missed anything out. I think I've summed everything up as best as I can. I don't think there's anything else that in my experience, that I've missed out. But if you have a question, let me know and I'll pop it into that video that I want to film, or a question about anything, then just let me know. I really hope this helps some of you and that it's given you a bit more information. Yeah, the only difference that I found, just quickly, is that I'm eating the same portion sizes, but I'm snacking a little bit between meals and I'm eating a lot more bread than I was before I was pregnant, but that's probably about it. Yes, let me know. I hope you enjoyed this. I will see you all very soon. Obviously, I'm going to be doing VLUNE, which I've stolen from Estee Lalonde. She did it once, I think, or a few times. And I'm going to be uploading a video every single day in June. So this might be part of that while we're on holiday, because I'm pre-recording a few videos. So I hope you enjoy. Please subscribe if you do, and I will see you very soon.